Meghan on fire. Harry attended the coronation without her. Meghan fuming over proposal her husband Harry attend King Charles's coronation without her, sources claim. Harry, of course, must be kept under control and therefore he must do what Meghan determines that he must do. That means washing behind his ears, sorting out his ginger rug, whatever it might be, putting away his coloring crayons and his building blocks. Not waving his frostbitten in her face, asking for some special kisses. Of course, if she determines that he can go off and do his own thing, then again that's only by virtue of her assertion of control over him. He used the intimate partner primary source and remains in that position, at least for now, as being the person that's easiest to control, who also provides her with the most fuel, character traits and residual benefits. He's in the sustained evaluation phase, but he remains in the relationship with her, and that means that he is an extension of her, and if he gets invited to something and she does not, that wounds her because where he goes, she must go. In order to continue to control him. The fact that he can go off somewhere without her approval or permission, wounds her. Furthermore, the fact that she is not considered as an invitee for the proposal of attending the coronation wounds her because she believes that she's so important that she ought to be invited and attend. Or if she has been invited and decides that she's not going to attend, then Harry ought not to either. He can't go on his own. People would often say, oh, they behave because they're joined at the hip. But no, it's quite simply because it's threatened her notion of control over him. That he would express any kind of independent thought or desire to go and do something without her weakens the control that she has over him, and she has to have that control. That's why the narcissist would repeatedly ring you or message you when you're on a night out to ask how you're getting on, sometimes inventing some kind of emergency involving the children so that you need to come home immediately. That's why certain narcissists suddenly appear at the event that you're attending. You've gone out for a drink with the girls, and you've said that you're going to a particular bar, and then the narcissist, partway through the evening, wanders in. Hey, fancy seeing you here. You knew I was coming here, did I? Oh, no. I was just passing and saw you through the window. Hi, I'm Bill. Pleased to meet you all. Then sits down. Pause himself. A glass of wine hangs around. Self-inviting, which shows a lack of boundary recognition. Interference in your relationships, which shows a lack of boundary recognition and an absence of emotional empathy. A sense of entitlement to turn up a lack of accountability for the behaviors by interrupting your evening, which was meant to be you and your friends without the narcissist. Of course, that narcissist feels threatened by the fact that you've gone to an event on your own without them. It wins them, and therefore their narcissism compels them to turn up under the auspices of I was just passing. In actual fact, you've just been hoovered for the purpose of asserting control over you, to make sure you're not up to something else, such as meeting another man. Because of course the paranoia of the narcissist tells the narcissist that is what you are doing, and therefore that compels the narcissist. Come and check and therefore ensure that you're not, thus maintaining control over you and drawing fuel from you. Of course, you start to get cheesed off at such behavior because it feels smothering, but many people don't recognize it for what it is in those early stages of the relationship. Similarly here, Meghan, even though he's in sustained devaluation, doesn't want him to go into places without her because it undermines her control. The article tells us Meghan is fuming over proposals for husband Prince Harry to attend King Charles's coronation and leave her behind, according to palace insiders who say the squabble is ratcheting up tension in the pair's high-stakes marriage. Sources spilled that the Duke of Sussex, 38, is mulling going solo to London for the 90-minute ceremony, provided he gets a front-row seat and isn't shunned as a total outsider. But Meghan, 41, finds it appalling Harry is even considering the palace's one-sided plan, a source spilled. Apparently she finds this proposal insulting and typically manipulative, since it's forcing Harry to choose between his current family and attending the coronation, spilled a source. Now, if that's accurate, naturally that is a standard response of the narcissist projection. You're being manipulative, blame shifting. You're the one that's causing him to choose between family and attending the coronation, where of course to nearly all external observers, they can quite clearly see you are the one that put him in this quandary because of the way that you've behaved. You've put him in this position as a consequence of dragging him overseas to Canada and then on to California. You're the one that has thrown pelters at his family and encouraged him to do the same, generating this rift in the first place. If it had not been for your behavior, you wouldn't find yourself in the predicament that you find yourself complaining about, but of course her narcissism will never let her see that she's the one that has done this. It can't. If you want to see a further example of this blame shifting in action, I'd encourage you to watch my short series The Relationship with the Narcissist, where I break down a film which was created. A short film that was created specifically about domestic abuse, particularly emotional abuse, and it shows an exchange between the narcissist and his victim whereby he projects repeatedly towards her blame, shifting her completely, unable to see that he's the one causing the problem, and repeatedly making out that she's the one. It's hugely instructive, and more of you ought to watch that the similar behavior is being engaged in here by Meghan. Her narcissism causes her to feel threatened by her admission, and therefore the response is not to think, I'm the one that's caused this, haven't I? I've caused the rift between him and his family. What can I do to make it up instead? It's how dare they? How dare they manipulate him, choosing him, forcing him to choose between his family and attending the coronation. This just demonstrates what a hateful, racist family they are. Such a threat to control, and instead she has to maintain that control over him by suggesting a variety of ways of making him feel guilty for even contemplating attending.